So that was a little improvisation in Dorian mode, and today's lesson is going to be on Dorian mode. So stay tuned, we're going to go over how to play it and how to use it. So the Dorian mode is a really cool mode. It has a very cool, funky kind of sound, almost a jazzy kind of bluesy sound. But it also could be used in a situation where you want to write a really sad song with a bit of a hopeful or optimistic touch to it. So let's have a look at the intervals in the Dorian scale. So we've got our root, we've got our second, we've got a flat third, which is different from the major scale, we've got a fourth, we've got a fifth, we've got a sixth, and we've got a flat seven, which is also different from the major scale. So our unique characteristic of the Dorian mode is the sixth. So the flat third and the flat seventh, although they're different to the major scale, they are present within scales such as Phrygian, Locrian and Aeolian. But the only scale that has the flat third and the flat seventh, but also a major sixth, is the Dorian mode. So that sixth note is a very important note to consider when playing your Dorian mode. So let's look at how to play the mode. So we're going to be playing an A Dorian today. So the scale looks like something like this. So we're going to play 5, 7, 8 on the low E string. So 5, 7, 8. Then we're going to play 5, 7 on the A string. And then we're going to shift our hand back and we're going to play 4, 5, 7 on the D string, then 4, 5, 7 on the G string, then 5, 7, 8 on the B string and on the E string. Cool. So our root note is A, so it appears on the 5th fret of both E strings and the 7th fret of the D string. And then our really important characteristic note, the 6th, is the major 6th, is on the 4th fret of the D string and on the 7th fret of the B string. Cool. So the chord that's played in a Dorian mode is a minor chord. So we're going to be playing A minor. And the A minor chord comes from the root, the flat third, and the fifth. So the root is A, the flat third is a C, and the fifth is an E. Okay, and if you really want to let people know that we're in Dorian mode, you can add that major sixth into your minor chord, creating a C minor 6 chord. And I'll show you how you can do that right now. So you can place your middle finger on the 5th fret of the E string, your index finger on the 4th fret of the D string, and then your ring finger on the 5th fret of the G string, and your little finger on the 5th fret of the B string. And you get a really cool sounding chord there, and that is the 6th note that makes it sound very Dorian. Okay, so when you're playing a Dorian scale, you want to look to land on your chord tones, like I showed you in the Ionian video. If you haven't checked the Ionian video, you can check it out here. And our chord tones, obviously, as I said, are your A, your C, and your E. So let's look at the C's. So we've got the 8th fret of the E string, we've got the 5th fret of the G string, and we've got the 8th fret of the high E string. And then our E's are the 7th fret of the A string and the 5th fret of the B string. So those are all the chord tones that you can stick around on when we're playing a A minor chord, and they'll sound really good to land on. If there's a A minor 6 chord being played, that major 6 interval will sound good as well. So an easy way to improvise in Dorian mode, for me, would be to play the A minor pentatonic scale, and all of the notes in the A minor pentatonic scale also exist in the Dorian scale. So if you take that, and then you just add some flat sevenths, my bad, some major sixths to the scale. So the 4th fret of the D string and the 7th fret of the B string. So we've got that's a cool way to visualize Dorian, and a nice way to remember it as well. Obviously that doesn't include the B note, but you can also add that in there if you want to. But yeah, as I said, using the pentatonic scale as you usually would, and then adding touches of that major 6 is a really good way of improvising with the Dorian scale. Now, if you want to create a chord progression within Dorian, remember when I said that the Dorian scale can have a sad but hopeful kind of sound? Well, basically, that's because we're playing a minor scale, but it's got a major interval in there, so it's got the major 6, and that's what makes it sound hopeful. So if we play a minor chord, and then play any other chord within your scale, so we're coming from the G major scale originally, so our chords would be A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp minor 7 flat 5 or F sharp diminished, and G major. So use any of those to create a chord progression, but my suggestion would be start on your A minor chord, or maybe your A minor 6, let people know we're playing in Dorian, and then choose your chords, and maybe end on the chord that has that major 6 interval. So, for example, the D major chord consists of D, A, and F sharp, which is our major 6. So I'd finish on the D chord, because it has that major 6 in there, and that gives it that kind of hopeful, optimistic sound to finish off the chord progression. So, for example, I'll play A minor, then I'm making this up on the spot, a E minor, then a B minor, and then a D major chord, because that has our major 6, and it's a major chord, so it gives you that optimistic feel. So let's play that. Cool. I'm sure you've heard similar chord progressions in popular songs as well. So yeah, that's how you would write a chord progression in Dorian. I really hope you enjoyed that lesson and got a lot out of it. The Dorian scale is a really cool scale to use, so definitely chuck that into your playing. I'm going to be doing more videos on all of the modes. I've already done one on the Ionian mode, and this is the second one. The next one will be on Phrygian, so stay tuned for that, and make sure you like the video, comment to let me know what you thought. If you have any suggestions for videos, let me know in the comments too. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.